click go live here, and oh my god, we're going live. I did the thing. I did it.
Jeebus.
Oh god, there we are.
How?
I think we're good. Let me double check here on ye old phone Rooney. We seem to have audio.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Schlimm. And it says live on my phone. Looking good. As good as can be. Very soon I'll have my graphics. I'm very excited. I already saw some stuff. And it looks very epic. But it's not quite done yet. But the wait is going to be worth it because it looks fucking sick. I'm just going to say it so much. Ah, hello! I was like, Metal, are you insane? Did you look at the clock? It's super early. It's like, yeah, so I want to play more Elden Ring later. Get shit on. Anyway. Also, I'm off work today because I watched the wrestling last night, which was very good. For anyone who cares. Yeah, it's good to see like, people arrive. I don't even know how many people are going to be here because this is a very unusual time for me to do this. Because normally I do it on Fridays or Sundays, but now it's Monday and early. What? Imagine talking about Elden Ring. Yeah, kind of cringe, brah. But yeah, hello. I can listen to you talk about Elden Ring while I play Elden Ring. God damn. That's some Elden Ringception right there. Hello, Metal and Fortea. Hi.
Hello.
Doing stream while I stuck at home office, shaking my head. Hey, isn't that good for you? You, Fortea. Shut up, Urban. Hello, Fettel and Mortia. Oh, I see what you did there. That was crazy. Your graphic. Thanks, I guess. How am I supposed to finish watching your last stream if you're streaming now again? Yeah, but this one is like a whole different universe. Like this is the Metal's Forge universe. The other one is the Metalcommander Twitch universe. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's how that works. I totally didn't just make that up on the spot. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this menu in the background, have a little bit of Elden Ring music. I think it shouldn't be too loud. Chat, let me know if it's too loud. So I can do this. And also I can just show stuff if it comes up. Where's my little notepad? So yeah, I dragged Fortea in here. Hey Fortea, how you doing? What's up?
Hello.
It was very
spontaneous. I'm here.
You are here. Because I saw you were green on the Discord. It's like, you played a little bit of Elden Ring, I think. And it was like, you want to join? You were like, no. And then I just like, you have to. And then you did.
I think I have like upwards of 120 hours right now. So
Holy
yeah.
shit. How do you...
Just a little bit.
I thought we were playing it like mostly the same time. Jesus.
Some of that might just be AFK stuff when I've been going to do
It's like
other
almost
stuff,
double of me. And I've been playing every free minute of my life at the moment.
Yeah. I had some days off last week, that's why.
Ah, okay. Well, I can't believe you streamed every second of it. That's pretty cruncho.
Dude, my stream turns into Crash City when I stream Elden Ring. It's insane.
Oh, it doesn't like it when you stream it?
Yeah, for some reason. Either the game crashes, or OBS crashes, or Chrome, literally Chrome crashes. I think it has to do with a memory leak, because sometimes when I restart the game, it comes better again.
Yeah. Oh, man, this universe is stinky and I don't like it. Hey. I had a shower just now. It's not that stinky. It sounds good. I can hear you way too loud. Because you can hear me? Or do I actually need to turn myself down somehow? I don't know how. Looks fine to me.
Wait, did he mean in reference to me, or?
I don't know. Hey, Stanky Mootle. Hello. Oh, Fredo, hello. Wait a minute. This is not a gameplay stream. Leaves. That's coming after on the Twitch. Don't you worry about it. What fuck, I have 66 hours and Fortea is addicted? Yes, I don't blame him.
Yes.
I'm addicted too. Also, I have coffee, which is very nice.
Addictism.
Man. Yeah, normally if I have a guest, I do like a little interview thingy, but this was spontaneous, so I don't have anything. But it's been a while since we met each other. I just realized. Do you remember how long that's been now? Because I feel like it's 1700 years.
Yeah, about maybe 1600.
Oh. No, seriously, sure. Was it through Mutually or was that before? I legit don't remember.
I think it was through Mutually. I think because he joined that Twitch community.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. I remember that.
Yeah, and then that's how I met him.
No,
and then we started hanging out there.
That makes sense.
And then I don't know if you just joined the Discord or something when we were hanging out or whatever, or you were his mod. I don't fucking
know. I mean, in the Discord and his Twitch before the Discord even existed. Like we were hanging out on his TeamSpeak when they still had one. Right.
Yeah, I never did that. I remember the early days of Discord. We literally, we didn't even call each other back then. We literally just hopped in a voice chat and people just joined in. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, good times. Not so much stress. Yeah, man, how many years? Probably like almost 10 years now? 7?
Is it that long? That's insane.
It's not 10. I think it's because I haven't been. Or is it 10 years now?
Nah, it can't be. Wait.
I'm thinking about meeting Mauler. I think that's coming up to almost 10 years. I think. Because I think I started streaming properly like 2015, 2016. I think.
I think the Twitch mates thing was around 2016.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah, Urban says 2015. Well, you guys are old. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, 6 years then, approximately.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah. Just playing the silly games and stuff. Good schleams. Good schlumbuses. Where's my YouTube thingy gone? Oh, there it is.
It's gone forever.
They put it somewhere I can actually see it. There you go. Just in case something looms up. Imagine knowing someone for almost a decade. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to imagine it. It's just a thing that's happening. Probably the same way I met you. Oh yeah, everyone says they're Twitch mates.
Yeah.
It feels like a lifetime ago. Did time even exist before Elden Ring? Surely not. I don't think so. I don't know what happened in those last 60 hours, 63, 60, so many hours already. And apparently there's still an area you get teleported to, which is even more stuff. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'll finish that game one day.
Yeah, it's the moon. You teleport to the moon.
Oh,
it's a
whoa!
Doubly sized map.
Moon boys. Good stuff.
When is the DLC? I want more.
I want more. I just started a second playthrough yet. I want more. Did you beat the last boss yet, or are you still stuck on that one?
So I beat the secret boss today.
I thought you were fighting the last boss for some reason. No, you're right. It was the secret boss.
I started fighting the last boss, but then Vader was like, "Nope, go here." I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like 2 or 3 pulls on the last boss today as well, after I beat the secret one.
Okay. Yeah, I've just been finding more and more stuff. It's like, oh, what's this? Oh, there's another underground area. Woo! I probably still missed some underground areas because I think the underground map is still kind of empty. I think I only found 3.
No.
I guess 4. No, 3. I was thinking about Nokron, but Nokron is one of them, so yeah.
Dude, I'm so curious how second and third and fourth playthrough are gonna be. Like, are you literally just gonna Google, okay, I want this weapon, where do I find it, run there immediately, and then just play through the main story? I guess you have to do caves and stuff, right? Because you need to find upgrade things for your weapon.
Yeah. It's interesting because So as far like there's a bunch of clips popping up on YouTube now. It's like get OP in 90 minutes and get OP with this. Feels like there's a way to get OP fast for basically every class out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I already know now how to get OP in the beginning with a mage. Because you can get this meteorite stuff. Easy for me to say. Meteorite stuff in the rot swamp, like immediately. You just need to fucking go there. And the rock fling is right next to it, basically.
Yeah.
And the rock fling is arguably the most OP spell in this game. Combine it with a summon, and it's just GG easy. Because if you've been watching my stream, that's my main spell I've used. Because cast that thing 3 times on the dragon, stagger.
Where do you get Oleg?
Oleg, I think in...
Is that also early?
Oh, that's a good question. I completely forgot. Oh wait, Oleg is. You can get him immediately if you're good at the game, because you can get him immediately. You need to use the Stone Sword key gift at the beginning, and then go through the fog wall right in the beginning where you spawn.
Right.
You have to beat one of those stupid, shitty tree spirits though. And they are tough. That fucker is really tough in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I went there. That was the first thing I did when I started the game. It's like, ooh, this is a thingy. Because when I did a test run and I just randomly took the stone sword as a gift because I just wanted to test out if the game runs properly before I start streaming. And I was like, oh, let me check this out when I start the game properly. So I took that one again, went down, figured out the whole chariot thingy. And then I got to the boss, and he absolutely annihilated me because my damage was puny. Probably have a better time with a melee character because I think you can dodge him quite easily. I think you mentioned he sometimes just straight up misses you if you.
Oh, it was the worm boss, right?
Yeah, it's one of those tree.
Yeah.
Ursel tree spirits thingies.
I mean. For melee, it's kind of like you basically just power through because he's all flismy and tismy and he shakes and he fucking flaps all around the fucking arena. So basically what I just did is basically stand in melee range, hit him. Some of his attacks miss you and then 1 or 2 will hit you. And then you heal that damage up again. So I guess you couldn't do that as a level 1, but...
Yeah.
Later on you can.
The tree rubbed the floor with metal. Yeah, he did. So I was like, I'm coming back later. And then I came back at some point and I got still wrecked. And then I came back a 3rd time and then I wrecked that guy. And I finally got Oleg. Whoa!
Nice. Up until then you had Jim, right?
Yeah, good old Jim. Who was actually part of a puzzle in the game, which I randomly figured out.
Yeah, same.
I was like, oh, where's my sister? I was like, I think someone in chat even said, oh, try Jim. I was like, oh, let's try Jim. Jim, can you talk to her? It's like, oh, there's my sister. It's like, wait, that worked? What? Hang on. That was a joke.
Jim is a girl?
Jim is a fuck. What did you say, anything, Jim? Okay, you're jellyfish, that's why, but still.
I was so proud of myself when I found that out. I was just like, oh, I can summon here. Maybe it's Jim. And I summoned Jim and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Stop misgendering Jim. Too late. It's already done. And my first thing is like, oh, is the summon gone now? It's like, oh, no, we're fine. It's still here.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like,
Jim is gone, no. But yeah, that was kind of fun to see. For sure.
I think I started with the Estes shard, or whatever it's called. Sacred. No, not sacred tier. The
golden seed.
Seed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Golden seed. So I got an extra Estes in the start. That's pretty nice.
But now you know you don't even need that because you can just get 4 immediately. Yeah. Oh, let's just ride to the capital. Oh, there's 2. Gonna go up the stairs. Another 2. It's like, god damn.
Like, did you watch the Vati video?
No, I still haven't watched any videos really.
Yeah. Because that one, he has one of those, like, oh, get OP and whatever.
Yeah, I think I saw it on my timeline, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, and he basically does that. He shows you like a little pathway, and then you can get all the upgrade stuff and the weapon and blah 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 blah. And you also get like enough golden seeds to have like 12 Estes or something.
Jesus.
And you're just like, all right.
That's yeah. I think this is gonna be the thing on multiple playthroughs. You're just gonna know where to go.
Yeah, basically. I think that's basically what it's gonna be, right? Like, right? You're gonna Google like whatever weapon it is you want to play with. You're gonna go there immediately. You're gonna go through some caves. So it's basically gonna be the same way you play through a Dark Souls game. Because usually, once you've played enough playthroughs, you know that okay, this is where I find all of the Titanite shards, and this is where all the Titanite chunks are, Titanite slab, blah 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 blah. So you're basically just gonna run through those areas, pick everything up, and that's what you're gonna do in the caves as well. You're just gonna go from one cave to another, grab all the upgrade items, upgrade your weapon, and then you're gonna do main boss stuff. I'm guessing, because there's not really a point unless, like on a new playthrough, unless there's something you want specifically, like a spell or whatever. There's no point really, except for like getting souls, I guess.
Yeah, also
doing the extra content.
Yeah, I guess the quest lines are gonna be one thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
check
true,
out
that's true.
because I did the Ronnie's quest line, which was pretty nifty. I guess I actually could still do the Volcano Manor quest line, but from what I've read, there's like the PvP quest line almost, like a tutorial to PvP. So I didn't really care to do that. What else do we got? We have the one guy with the weird armor that has like his other head going out of there. I don't even know what he does, but he has probably whole nother quest line going on.
Right, yeah.
I think Fia has like her own quest line.
That one I did do. I did the PvP one as well.
Oh, okay.
Because you got stuff when you killed the dudes.
Yeah, you cannot do the volcano quest once Ricard is dead. Ah, okay. Interesting.
No.
Dee's quest line is tied to Fia. Alright. Yeah, so those are like things that could be interesting. There's probably a bunch of items you can get through that as well. It could be neat. I haven't done the quest line with the grape lady. I think I gave her 2 grapes and then I didn't find her again, I think.
Oh, I haven't done that at all. I just heard her screaming about grapes the first time I met her.
Yeah, met her once. I had one of them, gave it to her, then she was in another area. And in that area I found another one of these grapes. And I think yesterday I found a corpse. I think.
She did.
She did. Yeah, what else do we get? I guess there's the multiple endings. Because I guess one of them is burning down the tree, and one of them is embracing the tree or whatever. Or, no, give the tree a sacrifice or something, I think is the other one that I know of. And then there's probably one super secret, whatever ending that's gonna be with some weird stuff you have to do. Like always. I guess it's already info out there, how many endings there are, but I haven't checked yet.
Yeah, I haven't checked that either, since I haven't beaten the last boss.
I think the Grape Lady is tied to frenzy stuff. Ah, okay. Sacrifice you made and achieve an anime body pillow. Oh, yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to play through. I mean, the melee playthrough will be a whole different experience for me because I decided to do a mage one first.
Oh.
So this is where I'm gonna decide how many good bosses there are gonna be. Because so far I'm just gonna be flinging rocks at people since I found that spell. And I'm gonna not use summons if I can, unless I get super stuck at something.
No.
I think Radahn is gonna be interesting. I wonder if I can beat him without any summons at all. You probably can with a good build.
I mean, do the like whatever PvP summons or whatever they are count for that fight? So I feel like they just go in and die.
Yeah, I mean, I would try without them. Because I think it's possible. It's just going to be annoying, I think.
Yeah. He has a lot of flumpy moves.
Uh-huh. But yeah. That's kind of where I decide how the boss quality is. But I can... I almost expect it to be... There's going to be a bunch of mid bosses. Like, yeah, there was a boss. It was an enemy with much HP. And then there's like going to be a handful of bosses that are going to be really good. I think Mauler mentioned the Godskin Noble in one of the towers. He liked that boss quite a bit. And just looking at this guy's moveset, it looked pretty fun. But I obviously just threw stones at him and he died, so can't really tell. So that's definitely a downside of using a mage and getting super powerful at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, my current playthrough, I'm doing a strength build with a greatsword. And I started to use the mimic, the mimic summon that you can do.
Yeah.
And I noticed a lot of the bosses I basically just powered through. Because you basically can stagger lock most bosses, surprisingly.
Yeah.
With the mimic also just spamming R1. And at some point I realized that I'm hardly even playing the game. I'm literally just holding forward and spamming R1 and I win. So I decided to stop using the mimic, and immediately it was like I hit a wall. But I think it has to do with this specific boss. I decided to do it at as well. But all of a sudden I had to do mechanics again.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing as well, specifically as a mage. And when you get Oleg on +10, he can just tank everything for you.
Yeah.
Then you start dealing some damage, then the boss is like, oh, this guy's dealing a lot of damage to me. I'm going to walk there. Then you just run away a little bit until Oleg hits him again. It's like, oh, I'm going to try to hit Oleg again. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to go through without all these tools, because I think this is where you get the quote-unquote proper Souls experience with.
Yeah.
Specifically in the bosses, with the bosses. Because I haven't been doing a lot of dodging and learning the boss moves and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a no summon Dex run. From what I've heard, Dex builds aren't they're supposed to be worse than strength builds for some reason. I think it has to do with staggering, because the Dex builds don't stagger as much.
Yeah, if you use a big bonky sword, you're probably gonna stagger the fuck out of things.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of bosses are susceptible to stagger. So, because I've heard from two completely different sources that the game is more or less made for strength builds, which is interesting, because I heard it, like I said, from completely different sources. They had nothing to do with each other, and they both said that. I was like,
oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, also things I haven't checked out yet. I haven't checked out any of the draconic stuff. I got all these hearts to use, but I mean I can't use them because you need faith and arcane, and I have int and a bit of dex and mind, and also pumped stuff in vigor now. I think of 38 vigor, so I don't die as quick. But yeah, mage is squishy. Mage is really squishy. So I don't know how.
I've seen. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've seen there are or there is one draconic spell that seems to be in PvE it's probably pretty poop, but in PvP is where the clip that I saw it. So it's like a spell where you literally do a big dragon's breath, and it suspends you in air, mid-air. So if you jump down and then do the attack as you're falling, it literally just stops you mid-air and hovers you where you are at that time.
Okay.
And just does a big fire thingy. And apparently that shit is OP as fucking PvP. It looks so funny when people use it.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of things I haven't even seen yet. There's a lot of... We have the draconic stuff. We have a shit ton of... what do they call it? Ashes of War? No, War Ashes? War thingy? No, Ashes of War is the thing you need for remembrances, I think. Spells, there's a lot of spells. I haven't even looked at pyro stuff yet. They probably call it something different, but it's pyro. Shut up.
There's so many faith spells in this game.
Yeah. Ashes of War, that's the one, yeah. Yeah, I wonder how good this game holds up without summons. I'm guessing the multi-boss fights are going to be 8s. Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to those. There's probably some of those where I might summon.
Yeah, I think so too, because I
'Cause
think multi-boss fights isn't really Souls game's strong suit.
If I think about some of the optional fights, especially the Crucible Knights that I encountered, and they melted through Oleg. It was like, Jesus, Oleg has like 1 million HP. That was probably the hardest boss to do as a mage. And it's probably made it easier because I could take my time and step away, do a spell, go away again, spell, and even then they killed me in like 2 hits, depending on what they do.
No.
Those Crucible Knights are no joke. I think I'm gonna try them just to test it out with a melee build. But I think if I don't want any of the items they drop, which I don't even remember what they dropped, they might drop their armors. I think it was them, because I got their armor sets, but I don't know if I got it from that fight.
Right.
But yeah, it was a really tough fight. I don't know if I'm not sure if it's a fair fight, to be honest. It's not like an Ornstein and Smo kind of deal.
No. There have been a couple of more instances like that. Have you faced the a statue cat looking thing?
Oh, very, very often. Yeah, I fucking hate
Yeah.
It's terrible boss. Terrible enemy, actually.
Yeah, there's one fight where you fight 2 of those, where one of them is a caster.
Yeah, I think I wrecked those because I think they're pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
And with Mage, it was pretty easy to do because one of them was focusing Oleg or Jim, whoever I used at the time. And then I could get rid of the one guy and then the other one. But there's a dungeon, or a catacomb rather, where they're just around there as normal enemies. And they just do pound, fly up, pound, fly up, pound. They just almost don't stop. Lost 120k runes there. I was very upset. It was yesterday, I think.
Jesus Christ.
And then I was like, I'm just gonna YOLO rune open the chest, and there was just something in there that was fucking useless to me. It's like, great. Very happy I did that. I was kind of hoping for like a special boss fight or something.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's one catacomb, there was like a Black Dagger assassin in there or something. But it was kind of neat as a boss fight, but that's about
that's exactly what I mean with like on the next playthrough and the ones after that. There's literally no reason to go down in a dungeon and like challenge yourself versus difficult or annoying enemies if what you're gonna get is like a spell. If you're doing like a pure melee build, or if what you get is a fucking, I don't know, a talisman. Well, what the equivalent of talismans right now? It's like something else. Like I don't know what's it called.
Yes. No, it's talismans.
You know, it's like talismans are rings, or what used to be rings.
Yeah,
but there's also like what you used seals. That's
there you go.
Yeah. So there's like no point to
go into the game and just show it in the menu as well. Just
no.
As well, sacred seals, yeah.
So there's no point to go down in a dungeon and be frustrated with the enemies and do all that jazz, and then all you get is something that you're not even gonna use, like whether it's a heavy weapon when you're on a dex build or vice versa. Like on new playthroughs, you're basically just gonna do stuff that gives you talismans, like actual Elden Ring talismans. You're gonna do stuff that gives you weapon upgrades, obviously. You're gonna do stuff that gives you weapons. And then after that, it's basically just beeline the story.
Yeah.
Get golden seeds, I guess. Golden seeds and sacred tears are probably good to do as well. And then quest lines.
Yeah. I mean, the most interesting part in the dungeon is probably just the summons you get, because most of them give you summons, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
that's mostly catacombs, I think.
Yeah, catacombs, that's what I meant, sorry. But you probably want to just focus on one of them, because you have, at least I think you have limited resources all over to get them to +10.
Yeah.
Because you get the grave word, what are they called? Great Ghost.
Yeah, I think
I got
3 of those.
Yeah, me too. I used one on Oleg, and I have 2 in my inventory right now.
No.
But yeah, just look at this. Like, we got 1 to 10, I think. Yeah, you get the Grave Glove word, but then you also got the Ghost Glove words, which you need for the more special ones.
No. But I think you can buy those up to a certain degree.
Yeah, you find
you
those
probably can buy the
bells,
10.
and then you need to go to the round table.
Yeah.
And go to the maiden husks or whatever they're called, and then you can give them the bells, and they sell the stuff to you. I have 4 golden seeds. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, you get a lot of summons in dungeons, but the game forgot that Oleg's pretty early in the game. Oleg is like exactly in the beginning, if you're able to be the guy. I mean, just look at all the summons I have. Like, it's a lot, and it's not even.
From what I understand, it seems like you see how they're separated in different categories.
Yeah, they are.
I think the ones with Oleg most of those are good, because that's where the mimic is, and you don't have it, but there's another one that is apparently nuts, but on an offensive level. Like, Oleg is super tanky, but this guy just shreds through bosses.
Okay, because I got Latenna, the Albinoric. I think that's the one with the wolf. People said she's pretty good when you're in melee, because she can just stand back and just shoots arrows at the enemies at all times.
Right. That's interesting.
You got a part of a quest line, which I think I'm going to conclude in this area I'm in right now. But yeah, there's so many of them. I got soul jars. Nice. Yeah, then they're the ones you can buy with the shards. The star shards, whatever they call.
Oh yeah, right.
I found one of them, the Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. I found those somewhere.
I think I have that one too.
And I bought the Jaw White puppet, which is a jar on his head. Put it to +7, tried it out. Seems to be pretty trash. Like, the first thing he did was throwing a jar at an enemy and dealt 1 damage. So that was
nice.
That was pretty epic. But yeah, what else is it? I don't know. There's some healer in there, Perfumer Trisha. I think that's just a healing one. Yeah, known as a healer. So that could be interesting for co-op even. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a huge variety of them, but they have.
Isn't that a Crest Knight as well?
Crest Knight, maybe. Oh, you mean a Crucible Knight?
Oh yeah, Crucible Knight. Yeah.
I think so. Radon. Let's see.
No, the one that was beneath Oleg is the one I was thinking of, but maybe not.
Oh, that's the ancient. That's Christoph. I think that's another really good one. A really tanky one.
Okay.
He might even be more tanky than Oleg, people say.
Oh, interesting.
So she does a lot of damage. I bet Christoph is more tanky than Oleg. It could be interesting to test out, actually.
Yeah. But it seems like that category itself, because those are the ones that you need the ghost glove words to upgrade. And those seem to be, like, all of those seem to be really, really good. Some more than others, obviously, but still.
Yeah. I think Stormhawk Dean is one of the first one I've got. This reminds me, there's still those 3 towers where you need special teleport stone swords for. I haven't found another one yet.
Okay.
Because one of them took me back to the starting area where you start initially, and you can beat up the guy that beat you up in the beginning.
Oh, interesting. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, but there's 2 more towers, but I haven't found more of those stones yet, because you need a special kind of stone sword there.
No.
Christopher was really good using it on my Mage New Game Plus playthrough. Nice. So yeah, you can toy around with these quite a bit. There's a lot of them. There's even some winged ones. There's like a great shield soldiers. Looks like you get 4 or 5.
I wonder if they just stand there holding their shields up, being tanks.
Yeah, just like a Spartan formation.
Yeah. But at some point, I'm so curious about this, because I feel like some summons are just way too strong. Like
Yeah.
the mimic one, like I said, I could literally ignore boss mechanics and just it might be the combo with my build. I'm not really sure about that yet because I haven't done any more playthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally feel like I was cheating. Like I ignored boss mechanics, just spammed R1, R1, R1. The mimic did the same, and I just won.
Yeah, we
And
just
I
stagger them
feel
to
like
hell.
yeah, and I feel like there should be some sort of restriction. Like either like reduce the health because it can even fucking heal. Like it's literally a copy of yourself.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I tested it out with my mage, and my mimic started throwing stones at enemies as well. It was like, ooh, goddamn.
So I think I don't know what they should do. Like if they should rework them to the point where they only last for 30 seconds or something, or if they should significantly nerf the health that they have or the damage that they do, because the way they're balanced right now is insanely crazy. Like
Yeah.
they do so much for just making the game super, super, super easy.
Yeah, because Oleg can kill bosses by himself. Specifically
Yeah.
when you go a bit further and go back and you just summon Oleg, it just goes like blub 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 blub, done.
Yeah.
And just sit there. It's like, all right.
So it's so hard for me because I talked with Emi about this, and he has a completely different view. He thinks that they should just stay the way they are, and if people want to use them, let them use them. But I think it just breaks the game too much. I think they need to be nerfed.
I think you could go both ways because
Yeah.
because I'm just gonna decide to use them very rarely on my second playthrough. But I am interested to see how good like the ranged ones are. Like there's some archer ashes here, or yeah, the Latana, for example. I have red main knights, which do like the really big bolts and stuff. Healing, I wonder how good the healing ones are. I don't know if they just put out a healing field or just straight up cast healing on you. I actually don't know how this works in this game.
Yeah.
But it's just things I want to test out for sure.
True.
Could be fun to do. But yeah, we'll see. Because the summons are purely PvE as far as I know.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's PvE, I don't really mind them to be that strong. But I wouldn't be surprised if they would nerf it a bit because they seem very, very strong.
Yeah.
I hear red main is godlike. Yeah, they deal a lot of damage to me, and they're in the second to last category. And I want to check out the other star ones, the puppet ones, if there's some good ones in there. I might do that later. Just go and see which ones they sell. Could be interesting.
I'm curious about the archer ones because, like, if you're doing melee and then they just shoot from a distance, you just get free extra damage.
Yeah, exactly. Because I tried Latana once without upgrading her at all, and she just shot like triple arrows at the enemy, and it was like 70 damage. So it wasn't a lot, but it was without upgrades. So
yeah, exactly.
Could be pretty nice. You cannot use summons in PvP. Yeah, I didn't think so. I would have been surprised. It would be funny if like people would just let their summons fight each other. That's probably gonna be a mod in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of summons. I think there's even more, and I already got a bunch. I think there's at least 3 more I can buy that I know of, maybe even 4. There's some more catacombs I haven't checked out yet, I think. And there might be more. But yeah, you do need to do the catacombs if you want to do the upgrades, though, because you get the grave words down there. And then you got the tunnels as well, which you need for weapon upgrades. There you go. We have like the yellow annex tunnel, for example. God, I just realized again how big this map is. What's here? No, it's a cave. I think the cave are just kind of random, with some bosses in them. Sometimes for quest stuff, but the tunnels is where you want to go if you want upgrade materials. That's what you
Oh, I
really
haven't
want to do.
even like taken notice that there's a difference between tunnels and caves. I just ran into a wall and
Yeah, no,
did
the,
damage.
the tunnels are always like the mine thingies,
Ah, okay.
which
Makes sense.
unfortunately have these hard-skinned enemies every single
Yeah.
time, and they're basically the same everywhere. I think they look a little bit different and have different stuff on their back,
Yeah.
but they're basically all the same enemies with different strength. What was that? Oh, okay, no mana request. Oh, okay, I haven't even seen that yet. But yeah, well, I mean, if I'm talking about being the enemies the same in those tunnels, might as well talk about the repeated enemies. And there's a nice little segue because in the beginning I didn't really mind it, but the more I play, the more it becomes apparent how many times enemies are reused, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things the same. Those geckos is one of the things I can think of right now. They use those geckos a lot, especially since after I got to the capital. They have those geckos in the sewers. I found geckos in caves. There's geckos. Actually, no, there's geckos down here in the water, I think, somewhere as well.
Oh, you mean reused from previous games, you mean?
Not only that, but just reused in the game itself. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I guess you should add that too because they look exactly the same, maybe with a little bit of different color because you have those big-eyed geckos.
But it's not Dark Souls, it's Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's slightly darker geckos, so it's different. But yeah, no, they're basically just taken from Dark Souls,
No.
and they've been around since Dark Souls 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for sure. They were in a bunch of places in Dark Souls 1.
And they still do the same. They basically give you curse, and then yeah, if you get cursed all the way, do you die? Because so far I've been able to avoid it.
Yeah, you die.
You just die. Okay, so they do exactly the same. They look the same. So yeah, that's. I mean, I
The
don't
only
mind
thing
too
that's
much, but
different
they use
is
them.
that you don't get the actual curse debuff on you.
Oh.
But they removed that in Dark Souls 3 as well. So it's basically a Dark Souls 3
It's just
curse.
a one-hit kill if you're too long in the fog. I mean, normally I wouldn't mind that much. It's just like, oh yeah, it's the geckos, but they do use them quite a bit, especially in like underground areas.
No.
They still like to use them for ambushes, like you fall down somewhere and there's like 3 around you, and they just start spewing their little gas tisms at you.
No.
Kind of lame. I don't know. Could have at least made a different enemy, but they're like legit exactly the same. There's some enemies you look at and they kind of look like they reused the model and changed it a bit. I think what I'm thinking of is you have some bigger guys, like some chunky guys that have like a curved sword, I think. And they kind of look like those drunk guys from Sekiro. I think there's like a little bit of resemblance. They look quite a bit different, but they did remind me of them right away. And I was like, oh, they might have used that model and just reused it somehow. But it's not necessarily bad. It's just I just noticed that.
No. And then you have the Erd Tree dudes, which are essentially asylum demons.
Goddamn. Yeah, or the stray demons.
Yeah.
Wait, I think they're basically the same, just in different games, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Talking about the Erd trees. Fucking hate these guys. First time I got them, it was like, oh yeah, that's not right enemy. It's like a little guardian for this tree. And then I got another one, and another one, and another one, another, probably 7. I've fought them 7 times, 10 times, I don't know. And they almost all have the same moveset, like exactly the same. I think I found one yesterday that duplicated itself, which was like, oh, that was a different thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's true.
And then
it seemed like they gained move. The very early one is like fairly simple. It doesn't have the like rot thingy that it spews, and it doesn't have the holy damage like spiky thing. But so like they keep gaining some moves until a certain point, and after that point, it's basically the same enemy except for that one that duplicates itself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and there was the one that pooped out Scarlet Rot exactly as well. That's
Yeah.
another one I found yesterday. That was just annoying
yeah,
because you couldn't get close to him. I was like, I guess I'll just throw stones at you now. I don't.
yeah.
Probably gonna
But yeah,
suck
the
at melee,
Scarlet
though.
the Scarlet Rot thingy is like after you meet that first one, all the ones after that have Scarlet Rot poop as well.
Yeah.
So they basically just gain more and more abilities up to a certain point where they reach the cap or whatever. So they're just the same after that.
Then you have the what they called. We just mentioned them earlier. The tree spirits. The tree spirit guys. Those worm tree spirit thing is. This is one of those classic Souls game flop around bosses.
No.
They mostly put them in like pretty small areas as well, or arenas. So he just kind of goes everywhere, and you just have to hope he doesn't hit you by accident. But then sometimes he just doesn't hit you while you're just standing there. It's like really weird, it's really random.
Yeah.
And they're super tanky. Super tanky. And I think I fought that guy like 5 or 6 times as well.
Yeah, he's repeated quite a bit.
I fought him in the capital. It's basically the first boss you can encounter if you go down the fog wall when you want to get Oleg early. Fought him randomly in the rot here somewhere in Kaled, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where you fight him, but I know that I fought him like 4 or 5 times, not even more.
Yeah, gotta kill one of them for Oleg in a very small area. Yeah, that's the one I meant in the beginning. It's like a super small room, and you can flop around everywhere. And he's probably gonna kill you, one-hit kill you in the beginning.
No.
Which he did to me. I mean, you can persevere and chip away on his health and do like a perfect run if you want to, but it doesn't sound like super fun to me. But the reward is pretty good because Oleg is pretty dope to have in early game.
No.
Who else do we got? Oh yeah, the cat golem
the
thingies.
Crucible Knights you have repeated. The Crucible Knights.
Yeah, the Crucible Knights are, I think, in the capital. I found a couple of them.
They're in the underworld as well, like Nokron.
Nokron, exactly. And the
and
first
then
time
they show up as a multiple of different boss fights, and once as a double.
Yeah, first time I found them was in the double fight. That was the first time I fought them, and I got absolutely annihilated.
I found them the first time. I think it was like a cave or something, and they were just a single. Actually, no, that's not true. The first time I found them was in Evergaol or Everjail or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Quite early on, actually. That was actually like a fun fight because at that point it was like a straight up big time boss because I was pretty like low leveled, so it was actually like a challenge to even inflict any type of damage to him.
Yeah.
But then I saw him again and again and again, and then he became a normal enemy out in the world that respawned. He's a bitch.
Yeah. And they're tough. Like, even if you encounter them just in the field, they're still super strong. They could probably still two-hit kill me if I found them now. Yeah, squishy mage is squishy. I don't know. Are you using any kind of beefy armor at all?
I wasn't, but I've switched to using beefy armor now, yeah.
Does it make a difference? Because I couldn't test it with my puny mage, obviously. Like damage-wise, I mean.
Yeah, damage-wise, it does make a difference. I can't really say I'm noticing that much of a difference when it comes to poise. I feel like they've kind of adapted the Dark Souls 3 poise. Like, you still get staggered from simple M1s from bosses. You still get staggered from basically anything. Sometimes you can, like, poise through an attack or two, but it's very rare, I feel like. And I feel like the poise doesn't really add much to that.
How much poise do you have? Because I have 32 with my little stuff here.
I
mean, I'm wearing a bit of armor. I'm wearing Blade's armor.
Yeah.
Which just liked the look of as well.
I'm wearing the like new Onion Man armor, the one with the big belly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that one. Then you can check how much poise it has. Because I'm starting up the game now. I can check.
Are we looking at Fortea's gameplay? No, you're looking at my game running in the background. This is me. This is my character. This is live footage. This is all OC. Oh, look, this is all original. Never happened before. Never seen on
I don't
YouTube.
believe you.
Okay, damn it.
Jump if it's live.
I wear Oleg's armor. At like 80 points for the majority of endgame, it felt fine. Okay. I tested, you're harder to interrupt, but certain enemies don't care. Okay, so some enemies probably just have super poise break or whatever. Specifically bosses, I reckon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I've only really tested it against bosses, but I guess maybe, random mobs in the world, it might make bigger difference. But I feel like it's pretty much Dark Souls 3. It's mostly just Fashion Souls. Except for the damage. The damage actually is noticeable. I took significantly less damage when I went with the chunky gear.
Oh, okay. Nice. Is this a mage playthrough? Yeah, this is my mage playthrough. I mean, I only have that playthrough as of now. But that's what it is. I mean, here's my stats if you'd like to see them. 80 intelligence by now. 37 dex. 43 vigor. 37 mind. Yeah. You do want to put a bunch in vigor at some point because you're gonna have a bad time otherwise.
No, for sure.
First level was vigor since you're pretty squishy in this game. Yeah, I can see that. I noticed fairly quickly that I need to put something in vigor, especially as a mage, because I think you start with like 9 with the astrologer, which is not a lot. I had a very tiny health bar, and everything killed me very quickly and was very frustrating. What else bosses I was think of? I mean, I guess you have a bunch of rats everywhere, which games just like to reuse in general, I think. Already talked about the cat golem thingies, which are fine the first time, but then they come up over and over again and they just get annoying. It's not a very interesting fight.
No. And the giants with like the feet weak spot thingy.
Yeah, they're a bit rarer, but I mean, if you get close, it's just slash till he falls down, hit him in the middle, and that's it. They do have sick tracking though. Like their arrows are on point even when you're riding your horse.
Oh yeah, those guys in the underworld as well have fucking giga tracking.
Oh, the yeah. They're insane. They can shoot you from across the map almost and still hit you.
Yeah. They're fucking nutty.
And they deal a fuck ton of damage.
Yeah, especially if you're on your horse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, then there's some... This is a weird thing. So, you get the Godskin Apostle, for example. First time I fought him wasn't as a boss. I fought him as a random mini-boss in the Windmill Village up here. I think up here it was. Because there was a Godskin Apostle there. This is also where all the weird dancing ladies are. Just having a dance. I don't really know what the lore about that one is, but I'm excited to find out through different videos online. Because you get there and they're just all having a dance. And I don't know what the fuck is going on, but they're seeming to have a great time. That annoyed me so much that I obviously killed them all. And there was a Godskin Apostle here, and people said like, "Oh, this is like the secret boss Mauler found and really liked." And I was like, "Secret boss? There was just a random guy up here." It's like, "Oh yeah, he's somewhere else." Like, oh.
Yeah.
And I fought him yesterday. He's like in a arena in a tower, I think. Ooh, which tower was it? Doesn't matter. It's one of those divine towers, and I went all the way down.
It's in the one in Kane, I think. And in the red area.
And this is where I fought him. And I saw that his moveset was pretty cool, but obviously because I was a mage and I just threw stuff at him, I couldn't really test it out properly. Again.
Note to self, don't do a mage playthrough as the first.
Yeah. I thought I'd just mix it up. And I mean, I'm still having fun, but I have a really hard time judging bosses. just because I'm not face to face with them most of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can find these enemies randomly sometimes in the field, and then as a proper boss somewhere else. Then another one which I found yesterday, which really, really, really annoyed me. So if you do the Runny's quest, you get all the way through Nokron and do all the stuff, and you get to an extra area where you fight. Now I need to look up the name. I think it was Astell. What's his name? Natural Born, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, the big like scorpion looking dude.
Yeah, Astell, Natural Born of the Void. I think that is the first one. Yeah. I was like, oh man, this is like a really cool special boss. Like the atmosphere is really cool. It's a really cool looking boss. It's like I really like they did put this little special boss in here. Really nice. Really enjoyed that boss for the looks. And he had a cool moveset and everything. And he's probably pretty fun to fight melee too, I would imagine. And
he was alright. Like it was kind of slow. Like he didn't really do much, and then he did like a Giga move or whatever, and you had to run away for your life.
Yeah,
he was like a mid-tier boss, I'd say.
Okay. He definitely looks cool.
Yeah, he looks super cool.
And yeah, I mean, again, I just threw rocks at him and let Oleg do the tanking. But then again, this is probably one of the bosses I could have easily beat without Oleg as well, because Oleg couldn't really keep up because he teleports around. So yeah, but yeah, I did some exploring yesterday. Went, I think, just into a random cave, and I found another one of these bosses.
No,
the same one, but this time called Stars of Darkness. At least that's in the yellow annex tunnel. I think it's one of the it's the last thing I did yesterday actually. Now that I think about it. So I was like, that is really, really lame, because I thought this was like a special boss to the quest line. It was really cool looking. Felt very Bloodborne-ish as well.
That's true, actually.
And then I found him randomly down there. And I was like, fuck that. Like, why would you waste him like this in this random tunnel?
No.
And just to top it off, he gets... Let me check. I'm going to check the wiki. So the first one has 10,500 HP. This one has 25,300 something.
So double.
And he one shot kills me with 1,600 health. With one of his spiky moves.
Jesus.
So he's just he's the same one, more tanky. As far as I could tell, he has the exact same moveset. Just super tanky. And you get Meteorite of Astell. You get like a spell from it. You get the spell he does. And the thing. Which I tested out. And it's fucking trash. Because actually I have it equipped. So if I just do it here. You do this. And you get... So they go all the way random. And that also happens when you lock onto an enemy. So I tested it out yesterday before I went offline. I tested it out on one of those giants. Basically stepped between his balls, cast it, and 2 of them hit. But only once. The second time it only hit once. So one of them deals like 800 something damage, which is pretty good. But they just go into random places. Like, I don't even think it's great against multiple mobs. Like, if I just cast it over there, it just goes... These one went together a little bit better. But I think it's completely random. Let me test it again. I wonder if it depends on where you look, actually. Let me look a little bit in the distance. Oh man, that uses a lot of FP. Like, with the same amount of FP, I could have dealt way more damage with my rock fling. So maybe against like a multitude of mobs could be usable.
I'm thinking like if there's like a big boss, big slow chunky boss, that might be good as well.
Yeah, maybe like a big blob. I was thinking like bosses like the one reborn from Bloodborne, for example. That could work pretty
Yeah.
well against that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have like a fast-moving boss, like Radahn is big, but he's moving around a lot, and he doesn't have like a
Yeah.
big frame. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think this looks cool. It deals damage if it hits, but I don't think it's very viable to use at all.
No.
From the little testing I did.
Maybe it would actually be good against the guy you got it from.
Yeah, funnily enough, that's true because he's big enough to get hit by 2 or 3.
Yeah, unless he has magic resist, since he does magic himself.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I found that guy again because I was almost certain that he was special to this quest line because it was pretty fitting.
Yeah. That is quite strange now that you say it.
Yeah. Because it's also just in a random tunnel where you get resources. It's like,
Yeah.
no part of a quest, no nothing. He's just in there. It's quite weak. The tree sentinels come up a little bit, but not too much. And I don't think they're bad bosses. I think they're pretty cool, actually. I quite like the tree sentinels. The knights, the golden knights.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They were even tough to do with Mage and Oleg because they were very mobile. It's probably one of the bosses even with the Mage, I had to start learning the dodges and stuff.
I think like they're meant to be like horseback fights.
Yeah.
But that's something I haven't really gotten into. Like I don't know if I'm just too ingrained in the classic Dark Souls playstyle or whatever, but I feel like the horseback is too clunky.
Yeah, the couple of times I used the horseback stuff, it's just I don't know, I'm not into it. I might try it again with a melee build, and because if you're on it, you only have your right hand weapon, and then you can use the trigger buttons to do different ones. I think if you do the R2 and L2 ones, you get lower attacks, and then the R1 and L1 is a little higher attacks, I think. I have the game right here. I can just test it out.
I mean, I'm not really sure if it's...
And then R2 is a little... Yeah, R2 is like a much more of a slash down. Oh, you can charge it. I didn't even know that. See, we learned it together, chat.
Yeah. I think with the greatsword, at least, I'm not really sure if it changes depending on the weapon. But with the greatsword, you kind of like... With R2, you hold the weapon down, and it continuously does damage to anything that it hits. And then after like a couple of seconds, you're forced to release it.
Yeah, also
and
if I go like this, it deals damage too. Okay, I see. But yeah, I'm a little old school on that as well. I mostly fight on my foot.
Yeah, same.
While I'm on my feet.
Most tree sentinels I've just fought like normal tisms.
Because I didn't found the little dash to be super reliable for dodging anything, really.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like it's just like strange.
Because if you hit like B or whatever your button is, you do your dodge button basically and your sprint button. You do like a little dash, but it's only a dash. You don't get any iframes as far as I know. You can still get hit.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And I tried to use it to dodge arrows and stuff, but the arrows tracking is still on top of you. Maybe if you do like very hard thingy, what's it called? Just different direction immediately. Maybe then. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't find it to be super reliable for dodging at least. So
I've found out the same thing. My testing seems to come to the same conclusion. Like I don't really feel like I get iframes, and I don't really feel like the dash is that much of a dash. Like, like your character kind of ducks down, and the horse seems to do a different animation, but it doesn't really feel like I gain any more distance.
Yeah, it's not super fast. I lost my notes. Come back. No. There you go.
So the dash not like being a roll, and the fact that like turning is kind of clunky makes me, or has kind of put me off towards playing with it too much. So I just usually jump off the horse whenever I initiate a outdoors boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
The few times I have used it is against dragons, because you can kind of run around their like breaths and stuff,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
which is quite useful. But that's pretty much the only time. If it's like a smaller knight enemy or whatever, I pretty much always jump off, even if they're on a horse, like the knight rider or whatever he's called. The like
oh yeah.
yeah, I tried fighting him once on horseback, and then I was like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah, I think I fought 2 of them. There's probably more.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 or 4 people tonight. I think there might be even more. And yeah, obviously only appear at night. But yeah, that's those guys. Horse changes are really fun. Oh yeah, they're fun for sure. You can also cast off of the horse, but you have to look in the specific direction to cast it properly, obviously. So you have to front face the enemy. So you have to turn around to hit him. So if you're running away from one, you can go away. I think it could work with a dragon, because you can kind of cast to the side if you're locked on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't checked it out. I had no need because of the rock fling. The rock fling is just really broken against dragons, because you cast it 3 times and most of the dragons just get staggered immediately. Like they do the little roar at the beginning, and then the 3rd one is already on its way, and it's like So yeah, very exciting stuff with the mage sometimes. Very exciting. But yeah, I guess that's the bosses for the most part.
Yeah. So in conclusion, there's a lot of repeated enemies, and it was bad in Dark Souls 2, and it's pretty bad here as well.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, though, I can be a bit more apologetic when it comes to Elden Ring, considering the tremendous, considering it's fucking huge. Like it has like, you know, all of the tunnels and all of the like gigantic map. So it's like a bit more understandable that they're trying to just fill out areas with enemies, whereas Dark Souls 2 was just felt lazy. But to a certain degree, like once you've met an enemy like 5 times, you're like, okay, now you're starting to feel a bit lazy as well. But again, a bit more apologetic towards Elden Ring, but at the same time, once you reach a certain threshold, you're kind of like, come on, guys, you know. But it might have been a time thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're talking about the map, I just have it on here on screen. Just look at this. So you start, I think here, Cave of Knowledge. This is where you start. I think you can see, I think you can see about here. Now you can only see this part, and you only think, oh man, that's a pretty hefty area already. I wonder how many more they are. And then you get to the next one, then the map zooms out a bit, and there's more to uncover, and more, and more, and more.
Yeah, the fact that the map grew was insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that you had the entire map, only everything was, like, darkened out. You literally looked at, like, a very zoomed-in image, and you couldn't zoom out at all.
Exactly. And then at some point, so there's teleport trap chests. They teleport you to random things. And I got teleported to an area, like, somewhere here, I think. I think it was, like, the crystal tunnel or something. It was this, to this crystal tunnel, and then all of a sudden I had like a map that was double the size. I was like, oh damn, what is happening? And then at some point I got teleported into the capital to an elevator, and then it grew even more. It's like, oh damn, this is even bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had like 3 or 4 streams where I didn't even uncover anything of the map. I was just going through the different places. So I did volcano thingy. It was like almost a whole stream. The capital is like a huge vertical area, and yesterday or the day before, I found out there's a whole underground area in there as well with sewers and stuff, and it just went on and on and on. I was like, God damn! And then
Yeah, so the thing is, like, you find an area, or you're in the starting area, and you decide, okay, let me explore everything here. That takes like 5 hours. I don't know.
yeah.
And so you're like, oh, wow, okay, so this was a lot of content. And then, like, boom, one whole new area. All right, let me explore that. Another 5 hours, maybe 10 hours.
Yeah.
And, like, you do all the tunnels, you do all the bosses, you do all the outside bosses, you do all the, like, just random exploring to find, like, churches and all that jazz. And, like, it takes a lot of time. Like, there's a lot of just straight up gameplay, like, time investment in each area.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not that it's just like, oh, it's open world, it's mostly empty plains or whatever. There are some empty plains, but there's also a shit ton of content in each area. And I mean, and then you have like the little cities and stuff, and like when you reach like the manor, for example, or the capital, or the castle, the mage castle, and stuff like that, that basically adapt the Dark Souls-ness of the game, which is basically, if you haven't played the game, it's like slow progression. Like, you take it careful, you don't want to be ambushed, you fight one enemy at a time, hopefully, and you basically progress slowly but surely, and you find a new bonfire, and then you move on, and you find another, etc., etc. So it's like,
I just
there's
found something
so
on the map I missed.
so there's just so much content. There's like hours and hours and hours in each area if you decide to explore it all.
Yeah.
Absolutely jam-packed.
Yeah, because obviously it's a pretty big change from a level design standpoint overall, because when you have this open world, you can't do the Dark Souls 1 interconnectivity you grew to know from that one, because that was like masterfully done, how they interconnected the world in Dark Souls 1, which they never never really grasped again. I mean, Dark Souls 3 wasn't in that department not that great, for being honest.
Nah, they had some shortcuts here and there, but it was mostly like, oh, you connected one of the beginning areas to one of the end game areas. It's just like, okay.
Yeah. And Dark Souls 2 is just a bowl of spaghetti. I don't know. I don't know. But
Did
yeah, if you
Demon
want
Souls
these...
have that at all?
Huh?
Did Demon Souls have that at all? The interconnectivity?
Demon Souls is more, because Demon Souls has basically the level select in the hub world.
Oh, right.
You have all the shortcuts and stuff in those areas, but obviously the areas itself are not connected with each other. Yeah, as well just said, in Sekiro there's some, you can open up some shortcuts. But yeah, here, if you want these shortcut thingies, I encountered them in the capital. There's a bunch of shortcuts you open up. I think in Volcano Manor, there was a bunch of them. But it's all in a smaller scale. I do kind of wish there would be more of them, to be honest. Because most of the time, if you do like a fort, it's almost linear until you find another grace, so you can teleport into the fort further again. I'm just scanning the map to see if I've missed one. But I feel like there could be a bit more of those. But yeah, those big dungeons, as well just said, they do have this interconnectivity a bit. So you can open a shortcut, get to the other grace, and go from there.
Yeah, I really love the capital.
Yeah, capital is probably my favorite area in that regard, for sure.
Capital is amazing. I really like that one.
This is probably I think it was the only area where I was like, oh shit, I need another grace right now. I ran out of stuff, and I don't want to do this all over again. I think it was the only area where I had that.
No.
Also, yeah, if I hit R3, oh shit, what was that? There's even more stuff to see. So there's a whole underground world going on.
Granted, it's not as big as the overworld, but it's still a lot of content.
Yeah. And yeah, see, I got 3 of those. So I got the deep root depths here, for example. Actually, I think they do count as 4. Yeah, I think these are 2 separate ones you uncover. Yeah. I found this one first, and then I did the Rani quest. You have to go into the rot thingy or whatever it's called.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is actually where
Another
you find
tree sentinel down there, or
where you
not tree
find
sentinel,
Astell,
but
the natural born. Like it's like this is why I thought it was a special boss, because it has like its own area and everything, and then you just find him. It was really upsetting.
I actually found him before I did the Ronnie questline, and there was like a little wall behind him, so you couldn't enter the thing that took you to that Moony place, Starlight thingy. Because there was like a wall with a signia on it, and I was like, "What the fuck? How do I get through here?"
So wonder if I
needed like a ring of oath.
I wonder if I missed an underground one like in between here, because it looks like there's something more here, but it could also be just random map stuff.
Let me see if I have anything there. Well, it looks the same as me.
All right. Right. But then I do think there's too many gray spots. Like if you look, I just take this one for example. So this is just a straight line from this one to this one. Like this is like one of those, just get rid of this one. Like this.
Yeah.
This is probably like a 30, if even 30-second horse ride to this one. And then you have the next one here. And another one there. Another one there. I think you could I don't know, minimize it to 3 in this whole area.
Probably.
So many.
At least in the open world.
It's so many in the open world, yeah.
Yeah. But like when you're in the like the Dark Soul Sea areas, like the capital or the castle or whatever. I feel like that's okay. Sometimes it feels like, oh, didn't I just touch a grace? Like I've only used one Estes, but for the most part, I think it's been pretty okay.
Yeah.
But the open world is kind of oversaturated with stuff.
Especially now that when you fight a boss, they have like special respawn totems there. Stakes, I think they called them. Is it the Stakes of Marika? Was that the name?
Yeah, Stake of Marika.
Yeah. So now when you die to a boss, you just spawn from the boss room most of the time.
Yeah. There's only been one boss in this game that I've had to do a boss run for, and that was the Red Wolf in the mage place.
Mm-hmm. I think there's so many, so you can teleport direct areas not defending, but I think that is the reason. Yeah, probably. But there's just way too many. Just look at this one. Castle Ward Tunnel, and then there's another one for Margit, and then Stormvale Main Gate. It's like, why? This reminds me of the Dragon Knight armor fight, where you get like bonfire, fight, bonfire. And you can see the one bonfire from the other one, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, you literally can, I think.
Yeah, so you have the Stormhill Shack. Like, all you need to do to get to this one is right up this hill. It's like 20 seconds, probably. So yeah, they could get rid of a good chunk of these without causing any problems.
Yeah.
Cathedral of the Dragon Communion, Highway South, Highway North. Like, they're so close to each other. It's comical to some degree, actually. Now that I look at them more. Man, so many. These close together are like inside. Yeah, you have like these castles. There's one in the beginning and one at the end. And then they spawn one for the boss you fight, I think. So, yeah. So, yeah,
I wonder how they calculated like where to put them.
Yeah, it seems almost random sometimes. I don't know. I mean,
like,
not random.
Maybe
but
they did actually like count the time it takes to run there with a horse, and then they compared it to like if you were to run on foot between two bonfires inside a capital or something. Maybe that's what they did.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of them. Some of them are different levels, so some seem closer than they are. Oh yeah, of course. Sometimes there's like a whole mountain you need to go. Thinking of, where is it? There we go. Oh, this one doesn't even look that bad. But you can't even get to this area until you do the Runny quest. You can get up here. Like, you can't get up here, for example. There's like a whole cliff you can just look up on. At least by normal means you can't get up there. Maybe someone found a way to just glitch up there. I don't know. I mean, someone in chat told me they fell somewhere in the capital, and for some reason they landed in the place where the Moonlight Greatsword is. That was just a funny glitch I heard about. Yeah. Was it Greisuke? I think so. Fell somewhere in the capital, and they fell into the place where the Moonlight Greatsword is. That was funny to hear. I wish I had that.
Dude, that's epic. I want that.
I wish I had that like as a clip, but that sounded like a funny thing to happen because they're so far apart from each other as well.
Yeah. I tried for so long, by the way, to get up there.
Oh,
I saw that there was like a well.
Just looking around. It's like,
yeah.
Went from this path and then from the other one. Oh, it wasn't Stormvale. Okay. Fell down at Stormvale. Gotcha. But still, quite funny that happened. Must have been like a wrong warp of some sorts.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I do quite enjoy the open world. I think overall I'd prefer the interconnectivity because it's just so cool. But I think overall they did a pretty decent job with the open world.
I think so.
I've been quite enjoying it. And
I feel like the open world,
lots to do. It's not like you ride through an empty desert for 15 minutes.
Exactly, that was the point that I was gonna make. Like, yeah. I feel like there's actually stuff in there. Like, you don't run for 5 minutes without doing anything. Like, there's enemies, there's treasures, there's caves, there's all types of stuff to do.
Yeah, you got those ruins you can explore, which pretty much always have a staircase that goes down where you find items.
No.
One of them in the beginning even has a character that gives you more spells, which I had to find. I think the interconnectivity could work if they made it into a big old mountain. Oh, so you unlock different kind of thingies. Yeah, I wonder how you would pull that off on such a huge scale, to be honest. But I think it was deliberate that they didn't do that. I think they wanted to give the player the choice to go wherever they want. Which you can basically do. I mean, you'll encounter some enemies that are going to be stronger, and then you're just going to turn around and go somewhere else. At least that's how I did it. It's like, oh, this area might be a bit too strong for me right now. I'll go the other way. Because you have plenty of paths to go. Like, in the beginning, I couldn't even decide where to go first.
It was actually kind of overwhelming for me.
Because you unlock this part of the Metal Grave, and then you can go right to Caelid, and you can go up to Stormvale, and then Liurnia, and you just find more and more and more. And while you do that, you just go through all these caves and dungeons and heroes' graves and whatever they're called.
And it's not super obvious what's the quote-unquote main content. Like, sure, the things point you in a direction, but like, there's no real confirmation unless you, like, I guess, listen to what the characters are saying and like, oh, Morgoth is this guy and he's a baddie, you should kill him.
No, I think what's his face? The guy at the round table that tells you need to prove yourself, who's in his little library on the table all the time.
I
forgot his name. Someone in chat will remind me. But he tells you about the main bosses and what the areas are called they are, or which castle they're... Gideon, yeah, that's the one. He tells you about them, what they do, but he doesn't tell you need to go north, there and there, I think. Or maybe he points you to a north or east or northeast, whatever the fuck direction. But that's pretty much all you get. And you need to talk to him, because I didn't even know that's a thing. I was just exploring by myself, trying to find stuff.
Yeah, same. I didn't even talk to him until like super late.
And then someone chat me, oh, you can, if you're lost, you can talk to the NPCs, and they give you a hint. It's like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense. Because I'm one of those Souls players, I just don't care what the NPCs have to say most of the time. I just want to run and kill shit.
Yeah. I'm pretty same.
Yeah. Lots of content, so you're definitely getting your money's worth. If
Oh yeah.
it works for you.
Yeah.
And I guess that's one of the other big points we should talk about. The fucking PC performance. And I think to some degree even on the consoles, I think.
Yeah, I think,
But I think like
consoles have been having some crash issues as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as for some PC players. So, me personally, I won the lottery on this game. It basically ran perfectly for me after I changed a couple of settings. Let me go into the settings here real quick, because it was just like 3 or 4 things I changed that someone told me in chat about at the time. So yeah, I turned off depth of field, motion blur. Well, that's just, I turned that off by default because motion blur is fucking stupid. Volumetric quality to low, and global illumination, grass quality to medium. When I changed those back, changed those to what they are now, everything worked mostly fine for me. Yesterday in this area I had some stutters. I don't know if it's because of this area or because I played the game for 8 hours and the game was like, please let me rest. But this area gave me some bigger problems again with like complete freezes to some degree. We just stand still for like 2 seconds. But most of the time I only get some micro stutters here and there, and it goes down to like 30, 45-ish frames per second. So I've been incredibly lucky with my experience. What about you?
So I've been having some crash issues and micro stutters. On the first couple of days, the game crashed like maybe once an hour on average. Like sometimes it would last for 2 or 3, and sometimes it would crash multiple times in 1 hour. Micro stutters has like, it's been noticeable, but at the same time, it usually, weirdly enough, it usually doesn't happen in fights. So for some strange reason, it just seems to happen. What my theory is, and what like my stream's theory was that it basically happens when it like loads in another chunk, like when you move from like one part of the map to another.
Yeah, I think that's
and like
happening.
small chunks.
I think that is that's what's happening. Yeah,
because it just happens randomly when you're running around in the world. And there was one boss fight where there were I don't remember which one it was, but I remember there was a lot of particle effect and stuff, and that was a fight that I actually noticed the my frames taking a hit. But besides that, the frame stutters and all of that usually happens outside of combat. So it hasn't really affected me on a gameplay level. It's just kind of annoying to see it over and over again. Sometimes when you're out in the world doing like world bosses and stuff, that can be kind of tismy when it like decides to stutter here and there. Because not only it stutter, like it slows down your game, and then it speeds it back up again. So like for a second or two, you're like blah, 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 you're running on like 200%, which is really tismy when you're trying to dodge mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like I said, I've been having crash issues. And when I'm streaming, the crash issues goes up a lot. So I'm guessing it has something to do with the RAM allocation or something. But my PC seems to struggle a lot with streaming the game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've been super lucky. And I don't have like the best hardware up to date right now. I'm running a 1080, an i7, 32 RAM. Which is good, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a pretty good PC still, even after 4 years or so. But if I hear about people that have like 3090s and the newest hardware out there, and they can't play the game at all, yeah, that's pretty much inexcusable.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I have a 980, so I have basically your car, but 1 generation older.
Yeah. I think a monk had the problem. He had like super duper problems in the beginning. He was almost not able to play it. I heard a lot of things about the game crashing, going down to 10 FPS all the time. crashing. And it's funny
Was that
because
thing global illumination you said that you should turn down?
hang on, let me go back into the
I'm gonna go ahead and steal those tricks right off the bat.
Absolutely. So all I did was depth of field off, motion blur off, volumetric quality low, and grass quality medium. That also doesn't work for everyone, but it worked for me to get rid of all of the super duper problems I had.
Okay.
I think overall I had like 3 or 4 crashes, and they were pretty far in between. So I was lucky with those as well. But yeah, it's the PC hardware lottery, and I won it at that point. So that was nice. Yeah, I think they patched quite a bit so far, so I think a lot of people can play it better now. And the Steam reviews have been mostly positive now. Because it was pretty mixed in the beginning, because a lot of people couldn't play it. And yeah, I tested it while I was on stream. I opened up my task manager to see if I'm bottlenecking at that point, but my resource usage didn't change when I had those problems. My PC was kind of bored actually. It's like, yeah, I still have 40% resources left, no problem. But yeah, it was a lot of people who had that problem. Wish that wouldn't have been the case. So fortunately, we had another dodgy release on PC with a Souls game, which just kind of sucks.
No.
And don't even start with but most of the games don't start out well in the beginning. It's like, oh great, so it's good if all of them are shit. It's like, no, if I fucking buy the game, I want it to be functional. It's just not an excuse to say, yeah, but all the games are broken in the start. It's like, then why are you still buying them?
Apparently, I don't know how credible this is, but apparently they were pressured by the publishers to release the game.
Yeah.
Which is why they were forced to set a release date. But Miyazaki and the peeps weren't happy about it. But I don't know how credible that is.
Yeah. Who makes it an excuse? I mean, there's people out there. I've seen a couple of videos where they showed some tweets and stuff. It's like, there's people out there who just say, because it's happening all the time, it's fine. But that's not how it is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Probably true, like it's often the case nowadays. Yeah, publishers like, no, we need to put this out now, so the devs don't get a say in this, which is it's just really annoying that this is the norm now. It's really, really annoying. But yeah, that was really dumb. How do you like the how they do the memory slots now for the magic?
I mean, I haven't really done a magic build myself, but it seems interesting. Like, you pick them up throughout your playthrough, right? And you basically get more and more and more.
If you know where to look, because they're all optional. So
yeah, most of them are in the towers, right? I think all
we
the
have like
towers
this
have
little
spots.
puzzle where you need to find 3 turtles, beat them up, and then you climb up and you get a memory slot. I think this is mostly it. I think I have 1 talisman that gives me an extra memory slot as well I can use, but I haven't used it yet because I don't really need more of them. Towers, or you buy them? I hear people say you can buy them, but I still haven't found a vendor who sells a memory slot item. Can you tell me where that is? Because now I'm curious, because I feel like I've found most of the vendors, if not all.
Probably just one if
the husk cell one. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I bought that one. You're right. The memory belching. Okay, I thought there was maybe more then. No, you're right. I bought that one. Obviously. Yeah. The Bellworm sells one. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. But now that you mention it, I bought that one. Yeah. Which the towers offer more than slots, because for a melee run they become completely useless. Oh yeah, this is like one of those things. You're just gonna be skipping a lot of stuff in other playthroughs. especially if you know where to look for everything.
Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, it's basically just upscaled Dark Souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't do the mage quest line on a warrior in Dark Souls. Like, there's no point for you to get Big Hat Logan and get all of his spells. So it's kind of the same deal here, right? Although it's like a open world game, so you could probably argue that maybe it should incentivize you to go look everywhere, just regardless of your class. But I mean, yeah, it's basically just upscaled Dark Souls. It's like you're even less incentivized to go certain areas now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I skip a lot in Dark Souls once I know what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how many melee weapons need stats from magic builds? It's really annoying. Most of the weapons I find have arc, int, or faith for some reason. So I haven't really checked that out yet because I've just been using staffs. But I did see that there's a lot of melee weapons. Oh, really? I have to stand up to fucking look at the stuff. Hang on. I had such a nice background, you dinguses. Okay, let's see. Because if I look here, because Moonveil has like a pretty big int scaling. Which one would be like a good example here? I mean, we can just go through here a little bit. This one...
A lot of the boss weapons do, because I've noticed that as well. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I have noticed that, like, because most boss weapons have like a special art of war that you can't replace.
Mm-hmm.
So say if it's like a magic one, then it usually requires int, or if it's like a fire art of war, then it usually requires faith.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. So depending on what the specialtism is on the weapon, it usually requires like arc or int or faith or whatever.
Get a Sword of Night and Flame that need, what, 12 strength, 12 dex, 24 int, 24 faith. I heard that one is super broken. That's definitely one I want to try. One of those legendary armaments. That's all great swords. We got strength, and faith. It's Gargoyle's Black Blade. All those Black Blade things are always faith, I think. Sort of Mila's strength dex. Morai's Executioner Sword has arc in it. You need 23 arc and 24 strength. What else do we get here? We got a Ordova's Greatsword is strength faith again. I don't recall which one are boss weapons. We got a Darkmoon Greatsword. That's in strength, but I think it's pretty normal for the Moon Sword thingy.
No.
Where are the dex weapons? Let me see. Bloody Hellas has arc. Yeah, it seems to be a bunch that have like int in it or faith. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just looking through my thing. I have a bunch of weapons that only have strength and dex, but there's definitely a lot that have extra faith in it. That's for sure.
No. I don't know if I would classify it as like a negative thing, though, because I bet there's people out there that would probably argue it's a good thing. It's like, oh yeah, finally my caster builds have like more options, like when I run out of FP or whatever. And it like probably scales with it and stuff like that too.
Because the Serpent Hunter has no attributes required at all, but has a strength scaling. Interesting. I also still didn't find a weapon for Dex that had a B scaling for Dex on starting level. Oh.
That is something I have noticed as well.
Oh, okay.
There's only one weapon that has S scaling and strength, and it's not even a greatsword. It's a hammer. Because I looked that up after I basically, like, after I decided that, yeah, I'm not going to switch my build, I basically just Googled it because I was curious. Because after I maxed my greatsword, made it a heavy infusion, it still just ended up as an A scaling at plus 25.
Okay.
So I was like, wait, what the hell? Fucking heavy greatsword, not S-scaling. And so I looked it up, and like some brick hammer or something is the only weapon in the game that has S-scaling and strength.
I mean, did you use
And I
that
assume it's the same for
that weird
Dex.
hook thingy in the beginning, or harpoon or whatever it was? Because that had the best
Yeah.
scaling, yeah.
That was the first weapon I found that had C scaling and strength to start out with.
Yeah.
And yeah, the brick hammer, I think it's called, has B scaling at level 1.
All right.
I think greatsword has C scaling as well. So it seems like over the course of leveling the weapon, it seems to gain 2 letters. So C scalings go to A, B scalings go to S, and I guess D scalings go to B. I don't know. I haven't used the D scaling weapon.
Oh, okay. No. Haven't even tried any dex weapons. Went straight for the greatsword and died a lot to get it. Okay. Yeah, as we said earlier, you can probably get a good weapon for yourself if you ride around enough. I'm sure there's going to be more and more guides out there to get perfect stuff very early on. I think like magic one could be one of the easiest one to get in the beginning, because that meteorite stuff you get has like almost 300 scaling in sorcery, and you can't upgrade it, so it's just strong from the get-go. And then you explore a little bit further right in a ruin or something, and you get the rock fling, and you're basically set for the early game, easy peasy, up until mid game.
Do they not require any high levels of int or anything? Either the weapon or the spell?
That's a good question. Don't know. But you can get it pretty early on. Fine. Oh, whoops, I just killed myself. See, even on a non-gaming stream, I just die in this game. That's how heavy it is. How hard it is. Yeah, I buffered an input when I pressed B, and I did a backstab. Right, let's see. Meteorite stuff. Where are you at? It has... You need 18 int. That's pretty easy to get.
Yeah, that's pretty early game.
Because I'm using the Regal Scepter, which needs 60 int. It's the one you get from the boss. Yeah. That's that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how people are gonna break this game in the future, because I think it's very breakable with the open world.
No.
If you just ride your horse far enough, you can get some broken stuff pretty early on. Easy peasy. I ran to Kayla to the greatsword. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of places you can just go to get some decent weaponry. For sure.
It's interesting that they placed Caelid where they did, because Caelid seems like a super endgame area. At the very first. Because like everything there basically just kills you at the start of the game.
Getting raided by bots.
Oh boy.
Wait, what? Why can I...
Oh my god, hot girls and boys?
I know, right? There you go. Oh, I think Julius already did it, but it took a while to do because I could only unhide. I was like, wait, it's not hidden yet. Right, there we go. What else do I have? I think the most things I had in mind. What I wrote down as well is like that the scaling of the enemy seems kind of wild sometimes. Specifically with random bosses you find. Like
that is something I've noticed as well.
The second Astell one that I just talked about earlier, because I'm level 130, 120 something, 127, 1600 health, and that guy just one hit kills you. It's like, goddamn, I feel like I should be super strong right now, but I guess that boss just doesn't agree with that.
No. I mean, it's kind of like Midir in Dark Souls 3, right? Everything is just over-tuned to shit because it basically knows that you're supposed to be high level at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another point I think we can touch on a little bit. It really feels like this game just wants you to continue leveling.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like in Dark Souls where once you reach level 100 or 120 or whatever it is, it basically like, oh yeah, so you need 100k souls to level, you gain 60k per boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Gwyn, I think, gives you 70k or something. So
I
it's
think so,
literally
yeah.
just like you need to pool your souls, you need to be uber careful so you don't die when you or lose them when you die. But this game is just like, I need 120k souls, and this boss just gave me 200k. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, so you actually want me to keep leveling. So that's something that's very different, I feel like, compared to the older Souls games.
Yeah, you can tell by your leveling progress in the other Souls games. It's like, oh, I think I'm entering endgame here, or at least I'm equipped for endgame. Well, here I'm level 130 and I counter bosses that just one hit kill me. It's like, oh, I guess I can just level more. Apparently, there's already people who found ways to farm super easy, like 50.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like 50k souls with one AOE attack or something.
Jesus.
And I think they just found an enemy you can just shoot with an arrow and just runs off a cliff and gives you a huge amount of stuff, and it respawns. Just random clips I saw on popping up on my YouTube. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I think you could do that with a bear. Like, you just spawned at a grace somewhere, and you aggroed him, and you stood on a specific rock near to a cliff, and you just like, "Rah!" And then you fell off.
Yeah. Meta level is going to be higher than in Dark Souls. Oh, absolutely. You can, because you have these spots where you can just yeet an enemy or make an enemy yeet himself off with an arrow. You can just go there with level 1 and just do that a couple of times, and then you're level 80, easy peasy.
No. Cause like I'm level. What am I? I'm 141 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, because the thing is, I've gone for the traditional, big sword, big strength kind of build, and I have 80 strength. Like, I don't think I've had 80 strength unless I've done a meme build ever.
Yeah, I have 80 int with all my bonuses from my equipment.
Yeah, because like in the older games, you're pretty much heavily incentivized to not go past like what is it, 50 or 60.
Yeah,
Like any point after that is just like, oh yeah, you're getting a tiny bit of damage, but it's not really that much. It's better if you just place it on endurance or health.
I think I read today on Twitter randomly that someone has been trying out the int scaling, and apparently the soft cap is at 80.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm not sure if that's correct, because I tried out. I got rid of 3 int, and I think I did 10 less damage. So I felt I already had some kind of soft cap going on. But it's definitely higher. It's definitely higher, because the other games had like somewhere between was it 40 the soft cap, and then the hard cap was 60 or something.
Yeah, I think
Swallow
it
just wrote
shifted.
it. Older games is about 40, and the hard cap is 66. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it shifted a little bit because I don't remember what game it was, but I think in one game, I don't know if it was all the stats, but I know that some stats had one of the caps at 50. I don't remember if it was the soft or the hard cap though. Okay. But yeah, I tried a little bit. Tried messing around with that on stream the other day when I went to the like respec girl.
Yeah.
Like the queen or whatever. And it seems like at least for health, you actually gain like less health when you level from like 10 to 25. And then after 25, you gain about 50 health per level.
Damn. Okay.
So it scales up, and then after after 40, it halves.
Huh.
So
interesting.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because like if you put 1 health or 1 point onto health early on and you gain like a big chunk like that, I guess it's a bit too steep of a curve. So it kind of makes sense to slow it down like that.
Oh, whoops.
But I'm pretty sure that there's a soft cap at 40, because from 39 to 40 it was 50 HP increase, and then it immediately went to 25.
Okay.
and it was the same for endurance.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that we will be getting more info on that as time goes on. Because right now, even the wiki is not really properly equipped with info. I mean, it's been a couple of days since I checked, so there might be more stuff, especially like the whole weapon scaling. I think when I tried to figure out how the sorcery scaling exactly works, there was just a lot of question marks in there, little graphs. So I was like, I think I'm going to check back at a different time. But yeah, I think that's everything I had on my mind right now. Let's see, because I asked on the Twitters if people had something to talk about. We got Mark the Cyborg here. What are your thoughts on the balance between open world exploration and the more structured dungeons? I think we talked about this briefly earlier. So I would like to have more of them. I do like the ones they have. But yeah, the capital is the biggest one, and I like it quite a bit because it has like proper shortcuts going on and it's not littered with gray spots. Yeah, I think there's like 3, 4, maybe 5 areas that have that. I wish there would be more. Well, I do like the open world exploration. I think I wish there would be like one really big and chunky area who had that, because capital is quite big, but it's not big with that, if you know what I mean.
No. I guess we could talk a little bit about the benefits and what's the opposite of a benefit?
Deficits
of having the game being open world, because I feel like, especially on a first playthrough where you explore like a shit ton, I came into some boss fights and I just hit them 4 times with my greatsword and I was just like, oh, okay, game over. Because I was so
for the boss, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'd been exploring so much and I gained a bunch of levels and I found a bunch of like extra stuff and I had a bunch of Estus flasks because I found a bunch of seeds. And so basically I felt like at some points, because I'm such a like min-max exploring kind of player, some boss fights seemed a lot easier than I think they were intended to be at the place they were at in the game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like some people might even argue that that's a good thing, like you're being rewarded for exploring. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to say that the game is supposed to be hard, but bosses have mechanics for a reason, right? Like you're supposed to, it's like a learning experience. It's a classic Dark Souls experience. That's what made the game as famous as it is, because it's such a like endorphin boost once you finally overcome that hurdle and you finally beat the boss that you've been struggling with for an hour at least, right? And running around exploring and becoming overpowered is arguably both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's
I think the
interesting.
Experience, especially in the first playthrough, are going to be very different depending on how you approach the game. So let's just say someone goes ahead and goes straight for the main bosses alone. Just go main boss, main boss, main boss. I don't want to explore anything for some reason. I just want to find the bosses. I'm going to go to the biggest parts of the maps I can find. I'm going to explore wherever the map goes. Go to the thing that looks the biggest, which has probably the boss in it. And do my thing. And then you're probably going to be more on the quote-unquote intended path of the bosses. But then again, it also depends if you go to the easiest boss first. I mean, the first one you're going to encounter is going to be Margit, right?
Yeah.
At least that's the first main boss I had. I think, actually, you could probably go to Caelid and even fight Radahn first, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Maybe there's some things I don't know.
I don't know what triggers that event in the castle. Because
Yeah,
I feel like I was there at one point, but there was just normal enemies there, and then I came back and was like, "Oh, hello, champion!" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah. So yeah, you have the person who does only the main stuff wants to go to the bosses and do this. They're gonna have like almost like a proper Dark Souls experience where they realize, okay, this boss is too hard for me. Maybe I need to farm. Maybe I need to change my weapons. Maybe I do this. Then you have some that have.
I legit had that exact experience with Margit. I
okay.
went there super early, and I got shit on by basically, you know, the quick moves with the like holy dagger or whatever the fuck that she does.
Yeah.
Like that plus one more hit if she followed up on it killed me every time because I had no health at all and I had no damage at all. Like the maximum I got her to, or him or whatever, was like half health, a little bit below half health, and then I died. So I actually did go out and explored more, and then I came back and I shat on her.
Yeah, I went there and then came back later because I was super weak.
Yeah.
Then you have some of the people who explore a little bit, but maybe find the main bosses pretty quickly and have like a bit of an easier time. Need to learn the mechanics a little bit and then beat the boss. And this all obviously just depends. What build are you using? Are you doing a mage build? Are you doing a melee build? Are you doing fave? Do you use summons or not? Can you even do summons? Because you can easily miss getting the summon bell. I randomly found the witch lady again because I checked back on that place. I was like, oh, what are you doing here? And got the summon bell and just tried that out. And then you might realize
I actually didn't have the summon belt for the majority of the game.
Say that again?
I actually didn't have the summon belt for the majority of the game.
Oh, yeah,
I was the one of the people that missed it.
But then you have like players like me on their first playthrough, knowing Dark Souls, like, oh, I want to explore everything I can because there's going to be cool shit everywhere. I want all the stuff. And then for the most bosses, I'm just going to be super OP because at some point you get told or figure out, okay, summons are actually kind of broken or at least useful. Because I figured out they're useful when I was using the jellyfish, Jim the jellyfish.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like actually like a nice little distraction to get. And he wasn't like super strong, but he did like a nice little distraction. I could fire my magic at things because my gameplay style changed quite a bit when I started getting the stronger summons. Because in the beginning it's like, okay, I have like a little distraction with the jellyfish. I'm gonna cast everything I have at the boss, hope he dies, and if there's something left, I use my shitty short sword that doesn't have any in-scaling, and try to get the rest off the boss. But later on, when you level them up, or when you figure out how to level them up, which you can also miss because you have to talk to some people before that happens, it was just like, oh, I'll send in my summon, let him tank. I'm just gonna stand over here and throw shit at the enemy until it dies. Oh no, the enemy is aggroed onto me. I'm just gonna walk away. Okay, now he's aggroed to the enemy again. Do it again. So yeah, when you explore a lot, you get a lot of stuff. You have a lot of runes going on. You find so many runes that you can pop as well. So if you explore a lot, you can quite easily outscale the game. But then again, when I think about going to where I was going yesterday, to the Frosty Lands, to the giant place, I forgot the name of the place because I'm bad with names. Was it the Altus Plateau? No, that's the one down here. Shit, what's his name? The Consecrated Snowfield. That's at least the Grace place. That's where I last stopped. Yeah. These guys are like pretty strong. There were like some enemies in the beginning that absolutely wiped the floor with my face, even with Oleg, because they deal a shit ton of damage. Mountaintops of giants. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Exactly. That's another thing what I mean with the scaling, because I pretty much destroyed everything, and then you get to this place with your high level, it's like, yeah, but we still 2-hit kill you. It's like, oh, okay. Weird. But yes, so it's probably the experience going to be differing quite heavily in this one, like probably even more than in a normal Dark Souls experience, or like in a
because the most you can do in a quote unquote normal Dark Souls game is Like you can farm souls, right? You can go back to the bonfire, kill a bunch of mobs, go back to the bonfire, kill a bunch of mobs over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really explore to the same extent that you can here, right?
Yeah, because
obviously
here's
it's
like,
not open
oh,
world.
this boss is very strong. I'm just gonna go through this completely different area and explore for 17 hours.
Yeah.
And gain like 25 levels and get a shit ton of weapons that might be useful to me.
Yeah, because in Dark Souls you have set paths, but sure you can go different paths, right? You can go down into the catacombs and get shit on early on,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go towards the gargoyles, or you can go towards the depths. So like you have different set paths, but usually, like there aren't like you said, you can't really go explore for 17 hours and then be like, okay, I'm now, I've doubled in muscle size.
Yeah, pretty much. In a game with a scale like this, where you play for tens and tens of hours, up into 100 hours, I think it's almost inevitable that you pick some info up along the way. It's like, oh, you can do this, so you can get broken stuff like this. You just find this randomly if you're just on the internet, I think.
No.
Especially when you stream it, someone is accidentally going to spill the beans on something. It's like, oh, this one is really broken. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that, but now I'm going to use it.
I think it's hard to avoid, especially when you're streaming.
And if you... Because in a normal Dark Souls game, I would probably be done with the game. I would probably already in New Game Plus. Considering how much I've been streaming as well. I mean, I'm talking like almost 70 hours of streams the last week.
Yeah.
It's kind
but
of
at the same time, maybe you would have struggled more with bosses if you didn't have summon.
Yeah, that's true.
So they might have taken longer time. Because I think my first playthrough in Dark Souls 1 was like upwards of 100 hours.
Oh, okay.
I think. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating, I don't know.
My powers have doubled since last we met. Yeah. Top 10 anime fights. But yeah, who else are here? Why are there so many dogs? This is a dog, that's a dog. Are we dogs? Oh, that's like the new meme.
Yeah, it's the meme. Everything is a dog.
I didn't see those because I play offline because I don't want any messages to spoil anything for me or shit like that. I'll probably turn on online when I do my second playthrough. That could be fun. I think everything is dogs from what I can tell. Normal Dark Souls.
Also, anytime you can't go into a place, like you don't have a key or you don't have like gotten the Great Rune for the Divine Towers or something, they always say, "Oh, you don't have the right. Oh, you don't have the right," as if it's a song.
Normal Dark Souls playthrough I think takes 40 hours, maybe 40 to 60 on average. Yeah, that seems about right. My first playthrough of Dark Souls 3, my first game, took about 80 hours. Yeah, I can see that happening for sure. Dog ahead, therefore try horse. I don't think I will ever turn back online. I don't blame you.
I mean, it's actually okay in Elden Ring because you can't get invaded unless you are in co-op mode.
Yeah.
So you're actually safe, which is nice.
Oh, we're gonna get invaded so much. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the part I hate with our co-op playthrough. I'm not looking forward to getting invaded every fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got here Sam Jan. I'm a PC man, and I'm worried that I won't be able to play it with how it sometimes struggles on the best specs. Did you play Elden Ring on PC or console? And if PC, what was your experience? So as I said earlier, I won the hardware lottery, so I am playing on PC. I didn't have any problems with a 1080 and an i7 and 32 gigs of RAM. It's a gamble for sure. It should be better now because they did patch a bunch of stuff, but it didn't work for everything. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work now. I mean, you can always refund it in a time of 2 hours. So maybe just try it out and then see if it works. If it doesn't work, refund it and then get it later. Maybe.
That's a good idea.
That would be my tip on that. What here? You have a name I don't know how to pronounce. Oh wait, it's just Mr. Taco. I think that was because it's all written together. At least I think it's Mr. Taco. I'm just gonna call you Mr. Taco. There you go. let's see. Do, 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 do. Oh, wait, that's the second part. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's two parts. There you go. I hate that you have to pause your movement to heal or call spirits. For a game that doesn't let you spare a single moment when fighting bosses, it's really dumb that this mechanic slows you down. It's not a complaint about difficulty, it is just straight up unfair to me. This is my first From Software game, and I'm really loving it, but man, this mechanic is super frustrating, especially when you're fighting a boss without your horse, so your movement is severely reduced. So you're actually lucky that you can move at all.
Yeah.
Because I think in the first Dark Souls you have to fully stop, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is deliberate. I never found it to be annoying. It's definitely part of the experience. Because if you start learning the bosses, you start to notice patterns, and you will find the parts where you can heal.
It's basically like do you want to play aggressive or defensive? Like you find the pattern, and then you realize that, okay, here's a window. Do I want to attack or do I want to heal?
Yeah, and then at
That's
some point you
basically
will
what
figure out, oh, if I heal at this point, this boss is going to punish me for that heal, because he's just going to charge at you and hit you immediately after. So you heal, and then you immediately lose health again. So this is part of the boss fights. All I can tell you, you have to get used to it, and just need to find the proper places to heal without getting absolutely shit on every time. Because even for me or us, we played a lot of Dark Souls. If there's new bosses, it's gonna happen. You start to heal, and then you see like, oh, he's charging me. Okay, I'm gonna get hit immediately again. So I basically just wasted an Estus or whichever game you're playing. But yeah, someone also says positioning is important for healing. Yeah, sometimes you see the enemies charging an attack, and that might be your prime chance to just run away from the boss and go somewhere else and heal while he's charging. Because you can also see sometimes if bosses do like a second phase, they do like a little charge up and they get super armor anyways. It's mostly smart to just walk away and try to get your heals up again if you need to.
And if you're playing Dark Souls 2, then healing is attached to a stat. Or
Right.
healing speed. ADP. Best stat in the game.
Yeah. If you play Dark Souls 2, which you shouldn't, ADP 24 was the magic number to get to normal iframes from Dark Souls 1.
Yeah. And then if you went higher than that, I think healing just became faster and faster.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see. Position's important. Sometimes that is worth it depending on the damage in your flask healing amount. Yeah, sometimes you get more health afterwards. And sometimes that's the only thing that heals you, that can save you, just wasting an Estus. Because he's attacking you, it's like, oh, if I don't heal now, I'm just going to die to this fight. So yeah, just try it more. You'll probably get used to it. It's definitely part of the experience. It's very deliberately designed this way. What's this? When is ER going to be on EFAP again? I don't know. I have the answer for that. I do not know. But there's going to be Elden Ring on EFAP at some point. So I can answer you that one. And I think that's about it. Do you have anything else going on that you want to talk about?
I have one smaller thing, and
Sure.
I have one bigger thing that we haven't touched upon that much yet.
Oh, right, yeah, go ahead.
So one smaller thing that I've noticed, it might just be me being not used to Souls games because I haven't played them that much as of late.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like the input queuing has gotten like they've like lengthened the window for the queue input thingy.
Oh, you mean when they buffer an input? When the game buffers an input?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's just me though. I have heard it from one other or just a random stream that I was watching as well, and he can explain that, he says. But yeah, because I basically feel like I will try to dodge. It will be a little bit too late, and I will get staggered. And then as my stagger ends, then the dodge comes. But I didn't press dodge again.
Oh, so
and
I see what you mean. Yeah.
so the input will be queued from a failed dodge.
Oh.
And then like a lot of bosses have a mechanic where, or rather that their attacks will be perfectly timed to catch you coming out of a spam dodge move. So a lot of the time as a melee, you will try to dodge, then fuck, I was too late. Get hit, you get staggered, and then it dodges as it comes out of the stagger, and then the boss gets another free hit on you.
Yeah.
And I like that like particular scenario has happened on a couple of bosses. And to me, that is kind of annoying. I feel like that's a kind of a flaw. Because I don't remember that being as much of an issue in the other Dark Souls games. And I guess we would be comparing it mostly to Dark Souls 3 since it's closest the mechanics to that.
Okay.
Because I know it can happen in Dark Souls 3, but I think when that happens in Dark Souls 3, it's more of a, oh fuck, I'm just, panic dodging, like just spamming the button. But here it's actually like more like of a open window where it will actually take in your buffer. And I feel like it's kind of fucked me over a couple of times.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting
especially
to
versus
explore
market.
for me when I do my melee build.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen
I am
too often
curious
with my
if
mates.
that's just me being completely out of it, or if it's an actual thing that other people have noticed as well.
Yeah, see, Swolpool, what Swolpool said, the game has negative edge. Usually your action happens when you press the button, but in this game the dodge happens when you release the button, so it can get wonky. Oh, hang on.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. So if I hold it down a little bit. Oh, wait, that was a backstab. No, stop doing backstabs. Fuck, I can't do it. I think it works better if I'm locked onto an enemy. Because I do remember, I do that a lot in Souls games, where I hold down the button and before the attack comes and then I let it go. Yeah, like this.
But does the negative edge explain what feels like the lengthened buffer, though? So I feel like if you press a button, like having it be on the release of the button instead of the press of the button, I feel like that's just the difference of like a millisecond. But sometimes I feel like it's such a it's super noticeable. So I feel like it would be more than a millisecond.
But the thing is, if you difference is if you dodge and while you do a dodge you get hit, versus you hold down the button, get hit, and then you let go, then the buffer is for after you're able to move again, I guess. So that's probably gonna just extend it to this time period.
Yeah. So another thing that I have noticed that is tied to this is that, like, if I'm hitting a boss that's like staggered or something, and I'm just spamming R1, a lot of the times it does an extra R1 than I intended to. Like, I'll spam R1 until I know that, okay, the boss has stood up, now I need to start playing the game again. But then it will do an extra R1 and I will get fucked by it. And I think that's also tied to the lengthened buffer window. But yeah, it's just a smaller thing that I've noticed. Not necessarily like a bad or good thing, except for when it kind of fucks you because of boss mechanics that are meant to catch you coming out of your rolls.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'll have a look out for that when I do my melee build. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting.
And then I guess something we can just touch on quickly as well is boss designs, like good, bad, fun, unfun.
Like specific bosses or
no, just if you have anything like in mind, that like any bosses that you found were really fun or really annoying.
Really annoying Crucible Knights.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly the ones that reoccur. Like Crucible Knights are just really tough to beat. But I think it was satisfying to beat them, so that was pretty nifty. Obviously the The tree spirits, hate those. Cat golems just get annoying. Trees get annoying because there's so many of them. Feel like the dragons should have a little bit more going on because they only spew different types of flame. I think one of them does like a huge rot cloud in Caelid, so you have to use your horse to get away from it. That was lame. Boss that I really enjoyed fighting was the deer one. The first one I encountered. Then there was like a second one in basically the same area, which I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did that twice.
The second one is or gains a healing move.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was basically the same. It was kind of lame, but I really liked that fight visually, and I really liked the music over it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Aesthetically, that's probably my favorite boss so far. It's really cool.
Nice, yeah. Radahn, really cool intro, really cool idea, but the boss is trash, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Was it thoughts on the gargoyles? Is there like an actual oh, there's a Valiant gargoyle, I think, somewhere.
Yeah.
I know
the double gargoyles.
It's okay, I guess. Not super bad.
Yeah, it was like pretty mid tier in my book. Like the gargoyles were like they had some fun moves where they fly up in the air, and they had some standard moves where it's like swing left, swing right, and stuff like that. So it's pretty mid tier. Not amazing, but not bad either. Pretty just like Dark Souls.
Yeah. We still have a bunch of bosses coming up because as you saw, there's still a bunch of covered on the map. So I'll be going more exploring after this stream. Gonna be more playing of this game on the Twitch. And let me think. I think the Godskin Apostle could be really fun with melee. He looked like he had a pretty cool moveset to fight melee.
He's one of the bosses that that was before I realized how broken my build was. So I actually didn't fight him properly, which I regret.
Yeah, a lot of those could change on my second playthrough because I'm going to do the melee one, as I said like a million times now. So,
no. Are you gonna go dex or strength? Do you know?
I don't know yet. I'll probably do the big strength one. I kind of feel like doing like the big swords. I don't know. Yeah. I'll decide when I do it. I think I still have multiple hours going on in my first playthrough, so we'll see how that goes. What else do we got?
Well, I have one boss that you haven't faced yet. I don't know if you want my opinion on it or if you want to relive that yourself. Or? Yeah.
I mean, you can say. I don't really mind that much.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that boss was amazing. It was one of the best bosses in Soulsborne.
Okay, nice. I might try that boss then without summon and melee, because I do have the Moon Veil now, which does a fuck ton of damage even in melee. So I might try that.
Yeah, I decided to do no summon there, and it was crazy. Like that fight was insane. And
sounds good.
The one thing about it though that was kind of tismy. I won't really go into the detail, but there's one thing. Yes, Walpole, I beat her. There's one thing about the fight that I wasn't a fan of, but but yeah, the rest was absolutely incredible. Like nice. It's literally Artorias level quality.
That's high praise.
Yeah, high praise.
That is high praise. Oh, now I'm excited. That
was his melee, so I don't know. You might completely fuck her over with your mage build. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I wonder what I'll do. Depends on the mood, I guess. Yeah. I think a lot of bosses are just mid, from what I've seen with the mage. They just seem like healthy boys.
No.
Yeah. Who's Artorias? That's a Dark Souls 1. Was it a DLC or just a special area?
Yeah.
Was DLC. Okay. A Dark Souls 1 DLC boss. I think what else? Oh yeah, the the Scorpion Bloodborne-ish boss I found pretty cool my first attempt. The first one I found. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of like the deer for me. Like, it was really cool to look at and stuff. For melee, it was kind of strange because he had like a lot of really big swings that were kind of tricky to follow with the camera and stuff. But overall, I thought it was a pretty cool fight.
Nice. But yeah, I can't really think of any other boss right now.
Like, if you take the main ones, like Margit.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the Queen Witch. It's kind of whatever. Just the weird children phase you can go through, or you have to go through, and then you do the moon phase, which is... It's called moon phase because there's a big moon in the background. It was kind of cool visually, but I found that when you're keeping your range, or keep your distance rather, she can tend to just spawn summons all the time, which is really annoying.
She does that at melee as well.
Yeah, because when I started to... Because I dealt little damage with my melee anyways, so I got in there, and then she did the summon, and that pushes you away. And I was like, So it got really annoying. I was running back and forth, running away from the summon until it disappeared. Tried to run to her. While I was hitting, she does the summon, pushes you away, and it was like really annoying to fight.
No.
Right, Godric. Which one was Godric again? Remind me.
Isn't that the one where he gets a dragon arm?
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty nifty, I think. Because I wasn't as OP then, so I had to actually do the things.
It was a long time ago I fought that guy.
Yeah, it feels like
100 hours ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Radahn already said that was a trash boss.
Godric was kind of just like Yorm the Giant. You just used the spear.
Is the serpent guy, is that a main boss or is this an optional one? I forgot. In the Volcano Manor.
Oh yeah, sorry, I misspoke. I meant Rykard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's the serpent guy.
He's like the gimmick boss of this thing.
He's basically Yorm.
Yeah.
Although it is kind of strange because the Yorm fight with the Stormbreaker, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You used up FP, but then when you were at 0 FP, you could continue doing the special.
Yeah.
But you weren't allowed to do that with the serpent.
Well, Swold was trying to tell me that. He told me during the fights, like, oh, the R1, R2 are boosted too. But I didn't.
Okay.
And I thought it was just if you get close, you get it. But it actually does like a ranged attack. I didn't make that connection. So I tried. I was like, oh shit, I actually have still range with my R1 and R2. So you could just poke him with those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Storm Ruler.
Ah, yeah.
What the fuck is Stormbreaker?
Yes. I don't know. Is that the Demon Souls one? Because you get one of those in Demon Souls as well to fight an air enemy.
Oh, Stormbreaker. It's Thor's hammer from.
Oh right. Oh, I see. Thor's MCU X. Yeah, that's Marvel. Almost the same, right?
Yeah. They both summon storms.
Very well. I can't think of any other main boss I fought so far. Because I think I'm coming up to those. I guess there's like 2 or 3 more main bosses I have to fight. But I don't know. We'll see.
I'm up against what I assume is either the last or close to be the last boss.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems pretty cool. It's like a big chunky guy with a big great axe that he swings around and stuff. So it's pretty. There's a lot of like pattern learning, like because he has delayed attacks and he has some of this and some of that and a big AoE and stuff like that you need to dodge. So he seems pretty cool. I'm looking forward to fighting him, especially without a summon. So that's gonna be fun.
Sounds good. Gonna stream and play no metal. I will do that over on the Twitch in a little bit. But first I have to end this one and then start the other one. That's how it works. But yeah, I think I've got everything I had on my mind.
Yeah, same.
Very nice, very nice.
That'll be pretty long.
Yeah, two-ish hours. Where is it? It says it here somewhere on my whatever. Oh, 2:25. There you go.
Neato.
So 1 minute. Well, I do have to use the bathroom really quick as well, so it might be 5 minutes. But yeah, I think that's about it. In conclusion, I really, really love that game. I'm having a bunch load of fun with this. I'm really looking forward to more playthroughs. Maybe even trying some Mimi runs, because I think the variety of stuff you can do in here is pretty substantial. There's a lot of weapons, and I don't know. We could maybe even try one of those weird runs we did with the other ones. I think we could come up with some fun stuff in this one. I think.
You'd summon only run?
One of those. Everyone just gonna go. It's just who gets to Oleg first.
I wonder if I spawn you into my world, can you use a summon?
I thought about that. I don't know.
That'd be pretty funny. Just see 2 mimics or something, or 2 Olegs, just like bah.
But yeah, looking forward to playing more of this. Is it a 10 out of 10? Absolutely not. You all need to calm your shit. But it's a really good game. It's a really, really good game. It's not a 10 out of 10. There's my hot take for the day.
It's a lot of content for your money as well.
Oh yeah.
If you're worried that you're gonna beat it too fast or whatever, you get a lot of hours per dollar, to say the very least.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a 12 out of 10. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, there you go. We did it. Good job. Are you gonna stream more Elden Ring in the future for Tism, or is it just too unstable?
I think I'm gonna try to, like, I did it on, I went down to 720.
Oh boy.
And it seemed to work all right. The game didn't crash as much, but the Streamlabs decided to crash more. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. If you wanna watch the Fortisms, the link is in la description. Don't be surprised if he's just gonna leave for 2 years until the next From Software game comes out, so because that's just how it works these days.
True.
Not a 10 out of 10, literally unplayable. Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back with another one of these this week at some point. I think I'm gonna be joined by Porcus, if I'm not mistaken, and we're gonna watch a movie I forgot the name of. I'm gonna talk about it. But that's about that. Yeah, you got anything to promote for Tism?
No.
Okay.
Don't do war. War is bad.
Yeah, wow, that's a hot take. But yeah, I'll be over on Twitch here in a little bit. Just gonna take a little break, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Mouse, cooperate. There you go.